Abraham, originally named Abram, was a significant figure in the Hebrew Bible, revered as a patriarch in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. According to the biblical narrative found in the book of Genesis, Abraham was born in Ur of the Chaldees in Mesopotamia to a man named Terah. Terah had 3 sons, Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Haran died early, and Abram married Sarai, who was later renamed Sarah. Sarai was barren, unable to have children. God called Abram to leave his homeland and go to a land that he would show him. In obedience, Abram left Ur with Sarai and his nephew Lot, and settled in Haran for a time. After Terah's death, God again spoke to Abram, promising to make him into a great nation, bless him, make his name great, and bless all the families of the earth through him. Abram obeyed, journeying to the land of Canaan, which God promised to give to his descendants. During his life, Abram faced many trials and made several journeys. At one point, due to famine in Canaan, he traveled to Egypt. There, fearing for his life because of Sarai's beauty, he told Pharaoh she was his sister. Pharaoh took Sarai into his household, but God afflicted Pharaoh's household, revealing the truth. Abram and Sarai were sent away from Egypt with great wealth. Back in Canaan, Abram and Lot separated due to growing flocks and disputes between their herders. Lot chose the fertile Jordan Valley, settling near Sodom, while Abram stayed in Canaan. God again affirmed his promise to Abram, telling him his descendants would be as numerous as the dust of the earth. When Lot was captured during a regional war among kings, Abram led a successful rescue mission with 318 trained men. Afterward, he was blessed by Melchizedek, king of Salem and priest of God Most High. God then made a covenant with Abram, reiterating that his descendants would be as numerous as the stars and that they would inherit the land after a period of slavery and oppression in a foreign land lasting 400 years. Still childless, Abram and Sarai tried to fulfill God's promise themselves. Sarai gave her Egyptian maidservant Hagar to Abram as a wife. Hagar conceived and bore a son, Ishmael. This created tension between Sarai and Hagar. Later, God appeared to Abram again, changed his name to Abraham, meaning father of many nations, and changed Sarai's name to Sarah. God promised that Sarah would bear a son, Isaac, through whom the covenant would continue. God instituted the covenant of circumcision, commanding Abraham and all his male descendants to be circumcised as a sign of the covenant. Abraham obeyed immediately. 3 visitors understood to be divine came to Abraham's tent and reaffirmed the promise of a son through Sarah. They also revealed that God was about to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah for their wickedness. Abraham pleaded with God to spare the cities if righteous people could be found there. Despite his intercession, the cities were destroyed, but Lot and his daughters were spared. Sarah eventually gave birth to Isaac in her old age, fulfilling God's promise. After Isaac was weaned, Sarah saw Ishmael mocking Isaac and demanded that Abraham send Hagar and Ishmael away. Though distressed, Abraham obeyed after God reassured him that Ishmael would also become a great nation. Hagar and Ishmael wandered in the wilderness, where God provided for them and renewed his promise to make Ishmael a great nation. In one of the most defining moments of his faith, Abraham was tested by God, who asked him to sacrifice Isaac. Abraham obeyed, taking Isaac to Mount Moriah and preparing to sacrifice him. At the last moment, God stopped him and provided a ram as a substitute offering, affirming Abraham's faith and obedience. Later, Sarah died at the age of 127, and Abraham purchased a burial site, the cave of Machpelah in Hebron. He buried Sarah there. Abraham then sought a wife for Isaac, sending his servant to his homeland. The servant, through divine guidance, found Rebekah, who agreed to marry Isaac. Abraham had other children through Keturah, whom he married after Sarah's death. These children became ancestors of various nations, but Abraham gave Isaac all he had and sent the other sons away to the east. Abraham died at the age of 175 and was buried by Isaac and Ishmael beside Sarah in the cave of Machpelah. His life was marked by faith, obedience, and a deep relationship with God, and he is honored across the Abrahamic religions as the father of nations and a model of faith.